Hello my dear children, I hope you all are safe and fine. I am your Sultan Amas and today we are going to study lesson number 12. So the name of our lesson is Air, Water and Weather. So what is the spelling of air? A-I-R. So encircle the term air in your textbook. So the name of our chapter Air, Water. So next term is water. So the spelling of water is W-A-T-E-R. So encircle the word water and next is weather. W-E-A-T-H-E-R, weather. So you already studied this term in lower classes and encircle this term weather. So weather means we know it can be sunny day. Weather means it changes. It can be sunny day, windy day, then cold climate, etc. So what do you mean by weather? All of you take your textbook, take page number 126. So weather means it is a day-to-day condition of the atmosphere of a place at a given time. So underline that sentence. So see, the sun plays an important part in causing changes in the weather. It is also very important. So underline that sentence. And which is the chief source of heat on the earth? That is the sun. So underline that. And we know that sometimes the night will be very cool and day will be very hot, or it can be the reverse order also. See, you can see the sentence here. The heat of the sun warms the earth during the day but not at night. So nights are generally cooler than days. So nights are usually colder than days, but also you can feel hot in night time also, but watch, nights are generally cooler than days. So you can see different weather conditions in your textbook. You can see pictures there. So the next paragraph is all about the sun causes the wind to blow. So who causes the wind to blow? The sun. See children, when the sun shines during the day, the land gets heated. So the land gets heated when the sun shines during the daytime. As a result of which the air above the land also gets heated. So as a result, what will happen? The air above the land will get heated. So hot air is light. Hot air is light and hence it rises up. It will rise up. And see, cool air from the surrounding rushes to take its place, thus causing wind to blow. So this is very important. So all of you underline this paragraph. Okay, so the sun causes the wind to blow. So next page you can see that is the effect of sun's heat on land and water. So here you can see some terms like air currents, then convection currents, and also we can see about air currents. So see children, the movement of hot air and cold air give rise to air currents. Okay, that means the movement of hot air and cool air give rise to air currents, which is also known as convection currents. So underline both terms. So what is the spelling of air current? A-I-R-C-U-R-R-E-N-T, air current. It is also known as convection current. So what is spelling of convection current? C-O-N-V-E-C-T-I-O-N-C-U-R-R-E-N-T-S, convection currents. So now take page number 128. So here you can see the land and sea breezes. So this is also important. So what is spelling of breezes? B-R-E-E-Z-E-S. So encircle the term breezes. And see children, you can see during the day, the land near the sea gets heated faster than the sea. So during the daytime, what will happen? The land near the sea gets heated faster than the sea. Land ആണ് പെട്ടെന്ന് heat ആവുന്നത് സീനെക്കാട്ടിലും. The air above the land also heats up. So the air above the land also heats up. It becomes lighter and rises up. So what will happen? It becomes lighter and it will rise up. The sea water is cooler and the sea water will be cooler. So the air above, it is also cool. The sea water is cool, so the air above the sea water also will be cool. This air rushes towards the land to take the place of the warm air which has risen up. This is called sea breeze. So encircle the term sea breeze. And see, next is all about the land breeze. That is at night. Just the opposite happens. So at the night time, just the opposite happens. So the cool air from the land rushes towards the sea. It is called land breeze. Encircle that. Thus air current. We already studied this term. So air current are set up and the temperature of places near the seashore remain almost the same throughout the year. So very important, that is about the land breeze and also about the sea breeze. So encircle the term and study it. Okay, so just underline all about the land breeze and sea breeze. So after that you can see 2 checkpoints. So try to answer by yourself. After reading the textbook you will get answer for these questions. So now in the next page, that is in page number 129, you can see heading like this. That is the sun causes changes in states of water. So we already studied about these states and I hope you all remember the term evaporation. So what do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation means the water changes into water vapor. It is known as evaporation. And see, the heat of the sun causes water to change to water vapor. This is known as evaporation. So all of you underline the spelling of evaporation. And what is spelling of evaporation? E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N, evaporation. So children, after that you can see 3 conditions. So first condition is water evaporates faster when it is windy. So you just go through the activity given there. Okay. So second condition, water evaporates faster when the temperature is high. So both the activities are very simple. Just read that. So you will get the meaning of that conditions. So now take the next page. That is, in the next page you can see the third condition, that is water evaporates faster when the air is dry. So we can go through that in detail. That means you all know clothes dry faster when it is kept under the sun. So see children, clothes dry faster on a hot, dry summer day than on a rainy or cloudy day. So underline that sentence. And you can see in the summer, the air has lesser moisture. Moisture means here it is the water vapor. And see in it, wherever on a rainy day, the air already contains sufficient moisture. So it therefore cannot take in more water from the wet clothes and thus clothes do not dry faster. This means when you are putting clothes in the sunny day, what will happen? The clothes will get drier fastly. But if you are placing the clothes in a rainy day, the clothes will not dry. Why? Because it already has the moisture content in it. That is why. So see, the amount of water vapor present in the air at a given time is called humidity. So it is very important. So encircle the term humidity. And what is the spelling of humidity? H-U-M-I-D-I-T-Y, humidity. So after that again you can see 2 checkpoints, that is the true or false. So just read your textbook and write answer by yourself. So after that you can see heading like this, water cycle. So water cycle is very important. So what do you mean by water cycle? See children, you already studied this in lower classes and you all are familiar with this term also, water cycle. And here you can see one term called condensation. So you already studied these terms in the previous chapters. That means evaporation, condensation and all. So now we can go through water cycle. So see, we already know that heating causes water to change to water vapor. So we already mentioned just now, that means the heat of the sun changes water to water vapor. Similarly, cooling causes water vapor to form water. So cooling causes water vapor to form water. So this process of conversion of water vapor into water on cooling is called condensation. So what is spelling of condensation? C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N, condensation. So it is the changing of water vapor into water on cooling. So See, the process of evaporation and condensation takes place continuously in nature and result in water cycle. So underline that and encircle the term water cycle. So now let us understand more about water cycle. So you can see some points there. So in that, the first point, just underline that point. That is, the sun heats the surface of the earth. Water from water bodies changes into water vapor. So water bodies means it can be rivers, lakes, ocean and all. So what happens? Water from the water bodies changes into water vapor. So evaporation takes place here. So that is the first point. Now second point, hot air containing water vapor rises rapidly. So the water vapor, it will rise rapidly. Now the third point, as air rises, it cools. Okay. Now the fourth point, the water vapor changes into drops of water. So now the water vapor changes into drops of water. That means condensation takes place here. Next point, the water droplets form clouds. So encircle the term clouds. And what is spelling of clouds? C-L-O-U-D-S, clouds. So the last point of water cycle is, as it becomes cooler, more and more water droplets condense in the clouds. These water droplets fall as rain. So you already studied this in lower classes. So the summary of water cycle means, water from the water bodies, it changes into water vapor. And what will happen? It rises. അതിങ്ങനെ പൊങ്ങി എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? മുകളിലോട്ട് പോകുന്നു. എന്നിട്ട് അവർ എന്തും അവിടെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്? വാട്ടർ ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ്, ക്ലൗഡ്സ് ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഇത് കൂളറായിട്ട് താഴത്തോട്ട് തന്നെ റെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നു. പിന്നെയും ആ വാട്ടർ ബോഡീസിൽ നിന്നും ഇവാപറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പോയ വാട്ടർ വേപ്പർ ഇല്ലേ, ഇപ്പൊ റെയിൻ വന്ന് വീഴാൻ നേരത്ത് പിന്നെയും എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? വാട്ടറിന്റെ ലെവല് റൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. പിന്നെയും ആ ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ വീണ്ടും കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇതിനെ വാട്ടർ സൈക്കിൾ എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. So now you can see in the next page, the water vapor condenses in different ways in nature. So you can see some terms like this. First one is dew, D-E-W, dew. Second one, frost, F-R-O-S-T, frost. Third one, fog, F-O-G, fog. Next one, hail, H-A-I-L. And the last one is snow, S-N-O-W, snow. So we can see each terms one by one, and I know these terms are new to you other than the snow. So the first term, dew. So see children, dew means in winter mornings you must have seen the grass in the fields are covered with small droplets of water. നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ രാവിലെയൊക്കെ എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ ചെടികളിനകത്തൊക്കെ ചിലതിങ്ങനെ വെള്ള തുള്ളിയൊക്കെ ഇരിക്കത്തില്ല, ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ് ഓഫ് വാട്ടർ. So ഈ droplets of water ne vilikkunnathaanu dew, D-E-W, dew. So next is about frost. So frost means when nights are very cold, the dew or water on the ground freezes. This is called frost. Frost എന്ന് കേൾക്കുമ്പോഴേ അറിയില്ലേ, ഫ്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനാണ് നമ്മൾ frost എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Next one is fog. I hope someone of you are familiar with this term, fog. ചിലവരെങ്കിലും കേട്ട് കാണും ഫോഗിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ട്. When water vapor condenses on the dust particles in the air, it forms fog, F-O-G, fog. Next is hail. See, when a raindrop pass through a very cold region of air, they freeze and fall down as hard balls of ice. Hard ball of ice ആയിട്ട് വന്ന് വീഴുന്നു. അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ hail അല്ലെങ്കിൽ hail stones എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. So you can see the pictures in your textbook. So the last one is snow. Snow എന്താണ്? Snow means high upon mountains where the temperature is very low. The water vapor condenses to form ice crystals instead of water vapor. മഞ്ഞിലെ ice crystals ആയിട്ട് ഇരിക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. ഇതിനാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്തെന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്? സ്നോ. അങ്ങനെ ഈ സ്നോ, see children, ഈ സ്നോ വീഴത്തില്ല, അതിനെ നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കുന്നതാണ് സ്നോ ഫോൾ. So I hope this is very clear to you. Now next is about the impurities in water. വാട്ടറിനകത്തുള്ള ഇമ്പ്യൂരിറ്റീസിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഇമ്പ്യൂരിറ്റീസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ്? കുറച്ച് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങൾ, മീൻസ് കുറച്ച് വേസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്യുവർ അല്ലാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങളെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇമ്പ്യൂരിറ്റീസ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. സോ വാട്ടർ ഇംപ്യൂർ ആകുന്നത് പല പല കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടായിരിക്കാം. സോ you can see some points there. As water flows down the hills, It carries many impurities such as mud and sand particles. വെള്ളം ഇങ്ങനെ ഹില്ലിന്റെ അവിടെ കൂടി വരാൻ നേരത്തെ എന്ത് പറ്റും, ഈ വെള്ളം അതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ കുറച്ച് ഇമ്പ്യൂരിറ്റീസിനെ ഇവിടെ ക്യാരി ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇമ്പ്യൂരിറ്റീസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട് മഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സാൻഡ് പാർട്ടിക്കിൾസിനെ ഒക്കെ ക്യാരി ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. These particles do not dissolve in water. So ഈ പാർട്ടിക്കിൾസ് ഒരിക്കലും വെള്ളത്തിനകത്ത് അലിഞ്ഞു പോകത്തില്ല. We know that if we are putting 1 spoon of sugar or 1 spoon of salt in water, what will happen? It will dissolve. But if you are placing 1 spoon of mud or not mud, if you are placing 1 spoon of sand or even though mud also you can place or you can put in the water and if you are dissolving it, what will happen? It will not dissolve. Adu dissolve agathilla, alinju pogathilla. So impurities that do not dissolve are called insoluble impurities. Very important. So underline that sentence and encircle the term insoluble impurities. എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ എന്താണ് impurities that do not dissolve, വെള്ളത്തിനകത്ത് അലിഞ്ഞു പോകാത്ത impurities ആണ്. Next point you can see impurities that dissolve in water are called soluble impurities. പക്ഷെ വെള്ളത്തിനകത്ത് അലിഞ്ഞു പോകുന്നത് എന്താണ്? Soluble impurities ആണ്. So after that you can see activity given in your textbook. So just go through it. എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, 3 beakers എടുക്കുക, ഒരു ഇതിനകത്ത് nails ഇടണം, nails means ആണി ഇടണം, മറ്റേതിനകത്ത് sand and in the next salt. So just go through it. So next topic is about removing insoluble impurities. ഈ insoluble impuritiesനെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് റിമൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നാണ് നോക്കുന്നത്. So there are 3 points given in your book. First one is sedimentation. Sedimentation. See the spelling of sedimentation? S-E-D-I-M-E-N-T-A-T-I-O-N. Sedimentation. Next one is decantation. D-E-C-A-N-T-A-T-I-O-N. Decantation. And the third one is filtration. F-I-L-T-R-A-T-I-O-N. Filtration. So in order to understand the term sedimentation, I will say one example. That means take some muddy water in a beaker. Then keep it undisturbed for some time, and after some minutes or after an hour you can see that the mud, it settles down in the bottom and the clear water, it will be above this sediment. So this is known as sedimentation. അതായത് നമ്മൾ കുറച്ച് ചെടിവെള്ളം എടുത്തിട്ട് ഒരു ഗ്ലാസ്സിനകത്ത് വല്ലതും എടുത്ത് വെച്ചാൽ കുറച്ചു നേരം കഴിയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഇതിനകത്തുള്ള മഡെല്ലാം കൂടി താഴത്ത് വന്നിട്ട് മുകളിൽ ആ ക്ലിയർ വാട്ടർ കാണത്തില്ലേ, ഈ പ്രോസസ്സിനെ നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കുന്നതാണ് sedimentation. So next term is about decantation. So decantation means it is similar to this sedimentation. ഈ sedimentation പോലെ തന്നെ സിമിലർ ആണ്. അതായത് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ മഡി വാട്ടർ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ മഡ് താഴത്ത് വന്ന് സെറ്റിൽ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ക്ലിയർ വാട്ടർ മുകളിൽ വരും. ഇപ്പൊ സെഡിമെന്റേഷന്റെ കേസിലാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു? pour this clear water into another beaker. This process is known as sedimentation. Now next is about filtration. Filtration means using filter paper you can separate the insoluble impurities present in the water. You can see picture in your textbook. So next is about removing soluble impurities. So children, before that you can see 2 checkpoints in your book. First one is name the process that causes the water cycle. Second one, what is sedimentation? Okay, so try to find out the answer by yourself. After reading the textbook, you will get answer for these 2 questions. So next is removing soluble impurities. So soluble impurities can be removed by 3 steps, that is boiling. So you all are familiar with boiling. The next is by using water purifiers. Third one is about chlorination. So next topic is about water is present under the ground. അതായത് ഭൂമിയുടെ അടിയിലും വെള്ളം പ്രസന്റ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, വെള്ളം അവിടെയും ഉണ്ട്. എങ്ങനെയാണ്? മഴയൊക്കെ പെയ്യാൻ നേരത്തെ എന്ത് പറ്റുന്നു? വെള്ളം ഭൂമിയുടെ അടിയിലോട്ടും പോകുന്നു, അല്ലാതെയും ഭൂമിയുടെ അടിയിൽ വെള്ളമുണ്ട്. So see children, the underground water can be taken out by digging wells. കിണർ വെച്ചിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ട്യൂബ് വെൽസ് ഒക്കെ കുഴിച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് അണ്ടർഗ്രൗണ്ട് വാട്ടർ എടുക്കാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും. So here you want to study a term like this, that is water table. So encircle the term water table. So the spelling of water table is W-A-T-E-R-T-A-B-L-E, water table. that is the level of underground water. Level of underground water is known as water table. So this is all about this chapter, water, air and weather. So children, read a textbook thoroughly. I hope you understood this chapter. So thank you for watching.